What up, internet? Today we'll talk about whether you need to rent a motorcycle in Krabi and things to know if you want to rent one, and also some tips about the mirror lake. So let's say you arrived at Krabi airport and you can either use the minivan in airport or you can arrange the airport pickup to send you directly to the hotel. And then if you order your following trip via agency, each day they will go to your hotel to pick you up and then send you back. In this case, you don't need to rent any motorcycle or even use Grab. But let's say you want some extra activities, like you want to go to 7-Eleven, you want to go to the night market, you want to go to the hidden restaurant in some here. In this scenario, you will need to rent a motorcycle. And the price for motorcycle is almost the same in whole Krabi. And it is quite easy to rent even just in your hotel. Of course, you can go to some local shop and the price can be like 50 baht or even 100 baht cheaper. But for a few days, I think that makes almost no difference. There was a case that I rented a bike for one day and then I returned it. And then my friend picked me from my hotel to some restaurant. And then I decided I need to rent a bike so he doesn't need to send me back. And right in the restaurant, I asked that guy who I rented the bike before, asking him to send the bike to the restaurant and then I will return it in the hotel for the next day. And it works out perfectly. So do you need a drive license to rent a motorcycle? Yes and no. The first day I rent a bike, he asked me for the drive license and the translation document, but I didn't bring it with me. I mean, for some reason, I am not able to log in the 12123. It's a Chinese app to show my drive license. I was not able to log in, but still, after some talk, he lended it to me. And for the third day, I rented another bike. He didn't even bother to ask me for that. I mean, from same agent but different guy, so he didn't know that I have a driver license or not. Look, I'm not recommending that you should drive a motorcycle without license, because if you get caught, the fine is pretty expensive. But I just want to say that for those motorcycles, it's very easy to ride. It's just like an electric scooter. You don't even need to switch gears. So ask yourself this question: do you need a drive license to drive electric scooter in your country? Now for the safety damage, you can either put your passport as deposit or you can put 3,000 baht. I mean, for different bike, the price obviously will be different. I would recommend you to always pay cash, because what if they lost your passport, right? Oh, for the gasoline, I went to the gas station. I know I just needed to ride for a few kilometers, so I asked for the minimum money I can input, which is 40 baht. So you don't have to add like 100 baht gasoline, just 40 will be enough. I mean, obviously it depends on how many kilometers you need to hit. But for 100cc bike, I would say it's like 0.3 CNY per kilometer, or even cheaper. I mean, you can count it that way to understand how much gasoline you need to put. And the rental is for 24 hours, so you can decide whether you need to rent it constantly. Or maybe you can rent for one day and skip it, but just be aware of the gasoline issue. Okay, let's say you rent a bike and you went to a place called Mirror Lake. You know, if you follow the navigator, the Google navigator, I followed the navigator, I saw the sign, but the navigator told me the other way, and I trusted the Google navigator. And eventually it leads me to some farm. I mean, although it's like only 1,000 meters. And that guy, he even offered to bring me to the kayaking place without charge anything. So thank you for that. Do see the sun, but the navigator just asked me to go that way, so kind of know where it is. It's just still I need to thank him for his hospitality. And for the lake itself, I will call it interesting. And here is some clips which might help you if you are thinking about going there, and something you need to be aware of. So here's a mirror lake. It's not deep, and the one end is up here. The other end, which they told me it's where the water comes from, someone is swimming over there and some is doing the jumping, but it's kind of shallow and you don't have some perfect place to do the front flip, back flip. I mean, you can, but it's just not as excited as jumping from a boat, I suppose. So it took me almost 1 hour 10 or 20 minutes to finish the whole trip. I mean, you can stay there to have some fun, but like I said, I have a plane to catch, so I got 2 more things to add. Like you can see the stump there, right? It's kind of easy to get stuck. That happens, you just move up and down to shake and then you will be okay. So it's just like this. You move up and down and better with a pedal. And if you figure it's too tired to do the paddling, it costs you just 100 baht to hire someone to paddle for you. ทำอะไร Crazy. Okay then, that's it for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow as always.